happened today? What happened to Dave, Blake?
Yeah, Dave, I guess, I don't know. I'm kind of trying to take over for him a little bit. I don't know. I just kind of, told him yesterday, I'll try it by myself today. We'll see what happens. If I need some help, he'll come back. So
I think you're going to do fine. So what are we going to start with?
just some regular stuff in the office. So we have fish and tree sales coming up here. We got the fall, spring sale, fall sale. But the tree sales are going to be a little later this year. They'll be coming in November 20th, which is usually pretty late for stuff. But, you want to have them dormant and ready for when they pull them out. Otherwise, they're just going to, it's pretty harsh on them. But otherwise, we also have the 4th grade conservation day that's coming up too. I don't know if I remember.
You talked about it last time. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and that'll be September 25th, and we actually jumped up even more kids. Now we're at 441 for Whiteside alone. So we'll also have Joe Davies in Carroll County to account for as well.
So how does that work? I mean, with all those kids?
Yeah, basically it's kind of like self-regulating. So you have their teachers and custodians, and then they have a group of 10 kids, and they all just kind of go in groups from one station to the next, and then when it hits this time, go to the next section, and then
So where's this taking place at?
The Mississippi Palisades Park in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Up north a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really nice area. I mean, everybody enjoys it. It's pretty good. I mean, I've been there once, but from that day, it was pretty good for me too. So, I mean, it was awesome seeing all the kids everywhere.
I would think so. And 4th graders, they're always interested in everything.
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
they?
Yes, they are. And always running around playing all the games and activities there. It's always pretty fun there. So,
You got a newsletter?
Yeah, and then the summer newsletter, we just sent that out recently. If anybody wants that, they can email me at Whiteside County Soil and Water. No, Whiteside County SWCD at hotmail.com, because we give those every winter and summer. So those are, it's just a bunch of kind of general information about some things we're doing, what we do, But yeah, we also got the banquet, which we're planning on having, which will be planned for February 7th, 2026. That'll be a fun time. That's because we actually apparently used to do those, but it's been a long time since they've had them. So trying to get that back up and going.
So what all takes place at the COVID? Who all comes to this?
Basically just a bunch of landowners, whoever I guess wants to sign up for it, wants to come by. I mean, learn about stuff, because we'll have a speaker, Jay Wolf. He does wildlife photography and all that. So if you want to listen to him, you can have some food, because we'll have probably have Fulton Meat Market there, and just hang out, meet with some other people, talk about conservation, have a good time.
So where do you do this at?
We're planning on having it at the old Drivers Building in Fulton, so right next to the windmill.
Oh, okay.
So it's new, basically. So I mean, they're figuring stuff out, so it's going to be kind of it's a little smaller, since we don't know how many people are going to end up coming, so we're going to have probably a smaller group. But
I hope it goes well.
Yeah,
that'll be coming up in February. So migrating birds, we've been looking at them.
Yeah, we got some raptors coming through, going down south. So some examples of those would be Cooper's hawk, peregrine falcon, golden eagle. And when you're migrating south, you gotta save a bunch of energy. So using things like thermals and updrafts, they gotta keep going in circles, keeping those wings flying, and just keep going up, and then just kind of gliding along way down south. So they also follow non-direct routes. So anything like the Mississippi River, they usually follow along there just because you're not going to go just in a straight line and remember that. Mm-hmm. So you got to have something like that. And also another thing that's interesting is that they travel in groups when they're migrating, but usually when they're hunting and doing stuff, they're all alone, because you never see a group of bald eagles. Usually it's usually just them alone. But yeah, when they migrate, they do it usually in groups.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch.
Yeah.
Sturgeon migrate too. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, they do it more so. It's for spawning more so, but there is 3 different species we have in the Mississippi. But the pallard's more south. We don't usually see it up here in Iowa. But the shovelnose and lake sturgeon, those are more seen up here. But it's also pretty hard to see them, considering that the lake sturgeon and pallid sturgeon are critically endangered. That's kind of what their status is. And shovelnose are vulnerable, but I mean, you'd see those more often. But yeah, when they're migrating, there's dams that block their passages. So, I mean, dams have been here forever. I mean, it's kind of hard just to say, get rid of them. You got to, but, for them to go back and forth, it's always, important to think about how.
So where did they start the migrating? How far north are they, and then how far south do they go?
Oh, they travel up to almost Wisconsin, all the way down to lower Mississippi, Mississippi the state, and down in Louisiana, down by the bay. So it's I guess it depends. It's hundreds of miles.
Crazy.
Or 100 or so miles that they travel usually. It's a long ways for them.
That is crazy. Again, we're visiting with Blake for Whiteside County. So yeah, the leaves. How they gonna be for us this fall, Blake?
Yeah, probably not the best, I would say, because depending on the temperature and the soil moisture. I know we've had it hasn't been the most wet summer, so that doesn't really help out. But I mean, we're hoping for some nice sunny fall days and some cool nights, so then they can get some more color out, bring out those pigments. But I mean, usually it's more in the northern regions that you see more color. So for us, it's not going to be probably the best fall, but it'll be.
So we'll have to go north if we want to see some color?
Yeah, so some better color, yeah. It's usually better up there.
So lower altitude and sick trees show colors earlier?
Yeah, usually because they cut off, because when you're making those pigments, you're usually having those sunny days to make all the sugars and get all that. And then when it gets cool, those veins close up, and then they're putting all that energy towards pigments and making color. So when they're kind of dead, they're not really going to be able to make those sugars and all that, and then the leaves end up dying and just turning brown real early. So then they just kind of do it earlier, I'd say.
Seems like AI is everywhere.
Yes.
You got AI and conservation.
Yes, it is. Actually, I believe it was South America, they did bird studies, and they do them everywhere. I mean, they have people writing down species of birds they see coming by and how many, and it's really hard to keep track of everything. So when you have something like a camera with AI technology, they can identify the species, log it, pretty much take care of everything. And with 90% accuracy, I say that's pretty good for keeping track of everything. So it's a really useful tool in helping keep track of numbers and data collection and just helping overall with all that. And also, poaching is also a problem. And with patrol routes, they can point out certain areas where a park ranger would want to go. Like, you have certain habitat of a species, you mix that with other historical bouts where they've caught poachers, and it ends up plotting points of where they would want to go in the future. So it's really helpful for not only data collection, but also, enforcing the law to make sure species stay safe.
Is that something that's used around here then also, Blake?
I would say it's more so used in places like, Africa, where they have massive poaching problem with rhinos and stuff.
I didn't
like
think
that.
poaching was a real big problem around here.
I mean, it is a problem sometimes, but not as much. It's a smaller problem than what it is over there, but it can still help though. It's still a big useful tool that'll help with that in the future.
So we're talking about worms now?
Yeah, screwworm. It's the new. Well, I guess because we used to have these in the past actually. The New World screwworm is basically coming back from the past because it dealt with a lot of livestock. Massive die-offs of livestock due to these parasitic larvae embedding themselves in, open wounds of cows and pigs and stuff like that. But you'd basically have them laying all these eggs, and then they embed themselves in there, killing off all the animals. And yeah, I know last time, and people think it's usually like a virus, but no, it's an insect that embeds itself in there. And when you have so many, it's like, how do you get rid of them? Well, last time they did sterilization, which they probably could do again, but you take an x-ray of like the female fly, and then once you do that, they've basically been sterilized, so they can't really reproduce.
Is that an issue around here?
It could be eventually, because they are working their way up north. They're down in the south right now, the New World screwworm, they call it. And that's why there's been a bunch of pushback, I'd say, down in the south, like near the border, where they're trying to say, hey, we don't want to keep it, keep it moving up here, keep it down there, and try and get rid of it as soon as you can. So, because, yeah, in the future, it could be a potential problem, and,
Well,
yeah.
we've covered all of your notes. So there's some notes here from David that you would want to go over real quick. We've got about 3 minutes left in the show.
3 minutes, yeah. So there is some things, probably shorter days, number 4 there. We have about a different time change. We have a later sunrise, so like deers and fawns, they're going to be trolling around a lot more, because as soon as it gets dark, they're going to be wanting to roam around everywhere, and it's getting really hard to not, keep watching for them during the nighttime. We always encourage just to go slower, keep a watchful eye, because, stuff like raccoons as well, they're going to be popping out more. So, I mean, yeah, you just basically have more dark time for animals to be roaming around, and more, insurance problems with getting hit by deer and stuff like that. So, yeah.
What do we have? Preparing for planting, harvest time would be a good one to go to. What do you want to do? Dove, squirrel, teal, goose?
I guess dove, squirrel, teal, and goose. So basically, it's just kind of that time, hunting season. Squirrels, good hunting season, good hunting time. But teal and goose are going to be ending here soon. So if you want to go hunt for those, it'd be a good time to try and get your last bout in there. Also for dove and squirrel, there's some good time, because, along with the shorter days, the squirrels are going to be rummaging around a lot more too. And I know Dave, he said that he has a buddy or whatever that has a farm, and it's like I can't remember if it was like a apple orchard or something like that, and he was trying to keep some, because he had a massive amount of squirrels there that was starting to be a problem. So, he didn't want to go over the limit. You always want to stay within the limit. But he ended up shooting 2 and taking those. So, and he said they were just everywhere that morning. The other morning, it was really nice. But yeah, it's quite the season for it.
So if people want to find out more information about Whiteside County and all the things that we've talked about today, how can they best do that, Blake?
They can either visit our website, or, shoot an email to me. I'd say if you want to visit the website, it's whitesidecountyswcd.com. Otherwise, our email is whitesidecountyswcd@hotmail.com, or just call the office, 815-772-2124, extension 3.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Anthony Richardson didn't say, hey, I'm the 4th best player in the draft. Chris Ballard's the GM. Why is it the player's always the bust, not the GM?